Yo, what's going on everyone? It's your boy Xeno TV back at it again with my very first video, and today we're going to be looking over Valkyrie in depth. Valkyrie's kit emphasizes the importance of strategic positioning, allowing her to freely rotate the map with her ultimate and maneuver around fights with her jetpack. Her passive ability gives her a unique advantage as she's the only legend who can regain height after giving it up. Generally speaking, there's three types of loadouts you're going to want to use when playing Valkyrie: an assault rifle and a shotgun, so like a 301 and a peacekeeper, a flatline and a peacekeeper, or a nemesis and a peacekeeper. I'm not much of a mastiff user. I know there's going to be some mastiff truthers out there, so feel free to switch that up. For the second one, we have a long range and an SMG, so like a G7 Scout and an R99, a 30-30 repeater and a car, or a charge rifle and a Volt if you're really cool. For the third loadout, it was the double SMGs for the Giga Chads, and you're already a Giga Chad, so you don't need me to tell you. Valkyrie has a medium hitbox, and as of season 16, she's a skirmisher, so that allows her to do absolutely nothing. Just kidding. She can scan the beacon. Just kidding. She can't scan the beacon. She can scan the drops out of the sky. She doesn't receive as much of a benefit as Pathfinder would from scanning a drop, but, and I'm not talking Loba, Valkyrie's scanning of the care package combined with her ultimate can ensure you a power weapon early. Let's get to the best part of Valkyrie, and that's her passive. First things first, if you're not using hold, go to your settings and turn off toggle and put it on hold. You want the jetpack on hold. Playing Valkyrie on M and K using your mouse wheel to jump can be a little difficult, so you'll have to get used to timing your wall jumps with the spacebar. As Valkyrie, your passive ability grants you up to 7 seconds of flight time when using your jetpack without releasing it. When using Valkyrie's jetpack, you can hold your ADS button to fly horizontally. I've literally never found this to be useful and even sat in the firing range trying to find a useful way to do it, and I couldn't. So when using Valkyrie, it's better to travel in bursts rather than relying on the ADS feature. With a full jetpack, you're allowed 6.5 boosts, 6 normal boosts, then the 7th attempt will make a distinct noise to enemies and maintain your momentum even though you just ran out of gas. This is what we call the Valk boost. Note that a normal boost won't play off momentum velocity the same way a Valk boost will, and it's very rare that you'll use this effectively, but it can be paired with a super glide for a great escape. Aside from general movement, Valkyrie's jetpack has other uses. For example, it can be used to cancel out fall stun. To do this, you just hit the jetpack right before you land from a long fall and you'll stop the stun. When playing on Stormpoint, this can be paired with a gravity cannon to make for sick momentum. Valkyrie's jetpack can also be used to cancel out a gravity cannon, so if you hit it and you see death on the other side, you can just fly until you cancel out the momentum. If you see an enemy below, don't be hesitant to drop right on him and hit him for a fat 100 with your peacekeeper. Valkyrie can use her passive to fly when she is respawned. If you're familiar with air strafing, you can air strafe really well on Valkyrie out of a respawn. Every time Valkyrie uses her jetpack, she does like this hand animation after using the jetpack, so to cancel out that animation when you're flying up on an enemy, you want to mantle. If you don't mantle, you're going to get this animation every time, and it's going to slow you down when trying to shoot your enemy. You can pair this mantle technique with super glides if you're really trying to pull some e-girls. Panic flying is when the Gibby 3 stack bubbles on top of you, your team's nowhere near you, and you just need to survive for like 20 seconds until they pull up. So you're flying on top of the bubble to cut off the angles, flying around to cut off angles. That's panic flying. Something I forgot to say is when you hit the jetpack, you'll get 0 gravity. So when you hit a jetpack in a super jump from a zipline, or just hit a zipline normally, you'll go in 0 gravity. Honestly, not that good because most of the time you'll get fried. After playing Valkyrie for some time, you'll notice it's hard to activate the jetpack if you're going up a hill. The best way I handle this is by jumping backwards, so off the hill and then flying towards the hill. It has to do with your elevation off of the ground below you. You could also run down the hill, like slide down the hill and then start flying upwards, but this is not really the best strat. Another thing I'd like to point out is once you feel really comfortable on Valkyrie, you'll understand the height in which you can take with her jetpack. Most buildings are scalable by her passive, but it's not always best to just fly directly up. Most of the time there's an alternative way, or you're going to want to scale it in layers, kind of like construction building. So my closing statements on Valkyrie's passive. Valkyrie's Jetpack is the best passive in Apex Legends in my opinion. It allows her to fly for 7 seconds or 6.5 boosts before running out of fuel. So each boost costs 12.5% of the fuel tank, and after 8 seconds of hitting empty, the fuel will start to regenerate at 10% per second. If you activate your jetpack before it's full, this will restart the 8-second cooldown time and can definitely bone you. Valkyrie's jetpack gives her significant advantage in movement and can be used to reach higher ground or escape sticky situations. It does have its drawbacks though, such as being loud and slower than previous seasons, so you gotta use your brain when you're flying. That's all I got on Valkyrie's passive ability. Most of it you're gonna learn through playtime. I tried to say everything that wasn't known to just the general community, I guess. Valkyrie's tactical. Valkyrie's tactical is a missile swarm that shoots 12 rockets in a 4x3 radius. It deals 25 damage on the first hit and 3 or 2 damage to fortified legends on the second hit. Valkyrie's tactical shoots at a maximum of 100 meters and a minimum of 12 meters. Valkyrie's missile swarm also stuns enemies upon hitting them. It's not much of a stun compared to what it used to be, but it still gets the job done. Valkyrie's passive and ultimate are more so why people choose her, but her tactical is really good for getting enemies behind cover like little boxes. Most of the time it will scare the enemy out of cover, but a good opponent will just sit in the missile swarm and heal it off. The missile swarm can be used for breaking doors. The tactical animation can also be canceled by healing. If you want more information on that, you can go look on my TikTok. I actually don't think this should be in the game, but I'm trying to bring more attention to it. When running away from an enemy, you can look down, jump, and shoot your tactical at the same time, and it will put the missile swarm behind you. If you can't quite see your enemy due to cover, if you look directly down, it will shoot your rockets 12 meters away. You can also look directly up. The missile swarm can hurt you for the same amount of damage as it would hurt someone else, but it won't hurt your teammate. So if you see them in an isolated 1v1, throw a missile swarm on them and just be like, my Q, then they know that it means no harm. The tactical can be used indoors, although it's pretty finicky. My best advice for that is only try it in rooms with high ceilings. When looking in Bangalore smoke, you can Q it and then shoot off of hit markers. It can also be used to quickly find the real mirage. Valkyrie's ultimate ability is called Skyward Dive, and it allows her to fly into the air and redeploy with or without her squad. Skyward Dive has a relatively long cooldown, like 3 minutes, so it's important to use it strategically. You can carry ultimate accelerants to help yourself out. In pubs, I just pop them at the beginning of the game and maybe hold one on me just out of habit. In ranked, I'm always having one on me depending on my bag size. When you press your ultimate keybind, you must go through a 2-second charge up before you can fly away. Valk's ultimate cooldown is 3 minutes until she gets it, and when she gets it, it takes 2 seconds to charge up and then shoots you 135 meters into the air in 6.5 seconds. If Valkyrie is shot before launching off, the ultimate is reset to 70% and canceled. If Valkyrie dies on the way up before flying off, her teammates fall down with her. You can fly away from anywhere that has vertical clearance, so if you just look above and you can see directly up into the sky, you can fly away. This depends on the height, but I'm going to show 2 clips right here of just weird spots that you can ult out of. If you're not playing ranked, you should use the ultimate any chance you can get, just to try to get the advantage on your enemy or to try to get yourself into a new fight. When landing on a team out of the ultimate, always try to land behind cover where you'll have like 2 seconds of spare time due to the fact that you have to pull out your weapons after landing. Valkyrie's ultimate is really good for oobing teams. Oobing is essentially boobs without the B. Oobing is when you land out of bounds and then you drop down on a team. So landing up on a hill and then your whole team drops down on them. Valkyrie's second passive is scanning people in the sky. Scanning people while flying is actually so good. Valkyrie gets her scans whenever she flies out of the armory, off a jump tower, out of the jump ship, or out of her ultimate. Her scans go up to 250 meters. They will also tell you who the champion, the kill leader, and the ratings leader are. This can be useful if you see a sweaty triple stack as the champion and you know they're dropping by you, you gotta shit on them. You cannot fly out of an ash snare. Caustic gas slows you incredibly. If you fly over a Newcastle wall, make sure you fly over the very top and not through the window. Watson Gen stops your tactical. That's pretty obvious though. Horizon's All is escapable, but it will pull you back if you're in the AoE. You can take Revenant's ultimate while playing Valkyrie. You can fly over Maggie Balls. You can avoid Crypto, Bangalore, and Gibby ults. You can fly over Catalyst walls and goo, and Mirage can use his decoy every single time you ultimate.